Welcome back. Yes, we are here to do your twin flame update. And I put the wrong banner on initially. Good one, Yildiz. We are live a little bit earlier today because I have a very busy day. And this is our last live for 2023, but we do have premieres. So don't think that I've just gone, I'm going on holiday. No, YouTubers don't get holidays. Okay? I just want to say, maybe a pina colada or two, coffee martini, but no, we don't get holidays. Anyway, so I pulled the cards this morning and I sat there and I was on the phone to Twin and I said, okay, let's break this down. And we had a bit of a candid chat to do with it. And as far as he's concerned, it resonates. So away we go. How are we doing before we get tucked into the read? Because there's a lot of mirroring going on here. Have you enjoyed the energy? This is my brekkie on the go. I'm on a major detox moving into 2023. I'm probably going to need to, especially my mid-year. I'm telling you, this reading's looking juicy. So some of you may actually be in communication with your twin. Some of you are wondering what the diddlio is up, and some of you are getting very tricked, okay? Is it relevant? Yes, it is. The transits, we've got Aries and Chiron, we've got Jupiter and Aries. Everything is to do with our wounds at the moment. And because we were so tied from Jupiter and Pisces being in the 12th house, especially for divine masculines, and their astrological energy was almost this crap back here that needs dealing with. And so they're going to be moving forward very quickly. And the way things stand as they are, come end of January 2023, they're going to look totally different. That's okay, doll. So how would I say this can be playing out? Some of you are actually mirroring each other from this read, point blank zero. Could that be those of you in separation or connection? 100% it can be. Sometimes it's almost like we look under our armpits and we're saying to ourselves, what am I missing here? What am I missing? Am I missing something? Have I done something wrong? Is there a perspective? But there is a mirroring. And some of you, it could directly be because they are going through something similar to what you went through. I said this to Twin this morning. I said, look, sometimes we believe that because we've been through something, that, oh, good grief, this is going to take a while, Other times we can be looking at them, and because we have a direct personal experience in it, we're trying to quickly learn the karmic lessons for them. And you can't do that for people. People need to accept, come to terms with, and trust me, it moves so much quicker. There's less BS, 100%. What I'm seeing here at the moment is some divine feminines you're in the thick of it, dolls. We've got Uranus and Taurus, which, especially for you, you guys have gone through so many changes, both collectively and at the twin flame path level. And because we had squares to Uranus and Taurus, it's a feminine sign, it's love, it's instability. You guys are like, where's solid ground? Where can I find solid ground? The reality is, no one really was going to, during this year, going to really have solid ground, but we were trying to find the beauty in instability, okay? We were trying to find, and that was collectively, really. So Uranus and Taurus is like, okay, does this have to be like, I call it the pyramid effect. It's like, okay, I'm building my pyramid. I'm going to be like Rapunzel. This is what's safe. I'm going to eradicate every human being out of my life, and I'm going to sit up in that tower, and I'm going to want a surety. And nothing is assured, okay? And so Uranus and Taurus has been teaching us that. Could we be like EXO, Beyonce, getting on a ride, living presently in the moment and finding that bliss? This shadow element at the moment of what it's showing me is that it has caused divine feminine's aura to be really depleted. The projection is the reflection. So the reflection of what in one element this is showing is, where is my bliss? Where is my happiness? Where is my structure? Where is my stability? Some interesting synchronistic things come up. And, that whole term that we have, and believe me, it's not just about this. I'm going to get into the read in a minute. A man is not a plan. A woman is not a plan. If I was to wait around, and this was just my life, okay? This is not that. And yes, I am a twin. I got tired of waiting for people to fix things for me. I got tired of waiting to. I was in one partnership, and this house actually needed tiles through the whole thing. I'm a move forward girl, okay? And is divine feminine embodying her divine masculine? Yes, you do need to in your own life, and then it becomes the salt and pepper in your connection. So there was a point I was in a relationship, and he was working, I was working, fell pregnant, and the tiles needed doing in the house. And I would ask and ask and ask and ask. Yeah, you stop asking and you start doing, and you need to do. So I tiled the bloody house. Because I even got the cuts ready. I was like, show me once and I'll do it. You know, back in the heyday, we didn't have YouTube. We had, okay, trial and error. And I think in the twin flame path, it was really trial and error in the early stages. So, you know, in doing things, if you're finding spiritually at the moment, you're like beating your head against the wall, you know, we are sort of reflecting back on 2022, 2021, 2020 and beyond at the moment. And we're really entering stage into 2010 to 23, especially in the twin flame path, as to we are ending cycles. You know, those placements of Capricorn for us really from here moving into January are going to be very heavy. And it's funny because divine feminine has the devil card in her read, but we'll put it in context of what is coming up for you. And so those Capricorn placements, look in your chart, follow my website. You get your freebies, you get your updates per transits. Hopefully I'll have all the calendar energy there. I'm going to pull a ruin cast and we're going to tuck into this read. But there's definitely a mirroring going on here, okay? There's a belief, there's a, could you say, a stagnant energy. There is. However, I do see very rapid forward movement. So for some of you, you're actually going to have this movement. You're going to be quite surprised. You're going to be like, where the hell did that come from? Usually it does come through actually being physically, I wouldn't say it's angry. You're not angry. The union energy of the situation coming in more comes from detachment, and that's when you're really disillusioned. You're like, this just tastes like chud. This isn't hot, and it's acceptance. And as soon as you accept something, and acceptance doesn't mean this is great. It means I've accepted the fact that this story has remained like this for a long time and done on it and blasted over it. And so the blasted over it is almost like you're not going down the rabbit hole of thinking. You know, some of us maybe at this point in time trying to really reflect. If you're in hermit mode, get out, get your energy moving. I would say if you can, stay home New Year's Eve. We have Mercury going station retrograde. I feel we're going to be moving into some very interesting frequency. Okay, so what ruin cast do we have here? Have we all been? Are we like, no, my name is no, my number's no. What's her name? Megan Trainor. As soon as I saw her in the media, I said, I guarantee you she's got Aquarius or Capricorn in her chart. And sure enough, she's got Aquarius and Capricorn. So wait to see bold changes with that woman next year. Bold changes. I'll have to do some astrology for celebrities again, if time permits. So we are going to have our channel messages for your star signs. They are being done very differently because I'm adding your romance reads mid-month. So they're channeled messages for time restraints. I have channeled the messages in various areas. Mid-month, we come back. I will be on screen. They are pre-released to the members first, and then they're released to the public. So if you do want that, you can grab it as a benefit. The Twin Flame group that is in our membership as well. The star signs, they're fairly cheap to get. So now you're getting the same price, you're getting two. You're going to get two. If they become more popular after I've finished the education content, because 2023 is really where I'm pushing for the Twin Flame education content. I've been saying that for 7 years now, and I'm going to bloody do it. Okay, so the ruin cast we've come up with, and in classic Yildiz Readings style, I've broken my bloody nail again. I helped my sister move. I didn't do much. She did most of it, but we lifted the heavy stuff. So, God, it's very Saturn in nature. Odin, ash, fire. We have Jupiter in the house of Aries at the moment. It's a gift. Okay, we need to use our spiritual gifts wisely. It does make sense because next year we have Saturn moving into Pisces, which can be, I do believe a lot of you are experiencing this at the moment. Go and research Saturn and Pisces in history, and you can see that we had existential crises, situations happening with Christianity where we were disbelievers or something to that degree was going on. So spiritually, could you be getting very 3D at the moment and saying, what is your new compass of religion, beliefs, values, spirituality? Yeah, there could be, but this ruin cast means nothing is for nothing. And I feel, dull sometimes when we feel so tired, we literally in the twin flame path, you'd be bursting into tears, you'd be sitting there. I really, over the years, desensitized Valentine's Day, Christmas, birthdays, and I tried to remain as present as possible and detached from the 3D of those traditions, not because I didn't believe, but because I wanted to take a, what would the word be? An attachment away from it. So it didn't trigger me every time. So I moved into the trigger to resolve the trigger so it didn't define me anymore. So for some of you, this time at this point in time can be really almost like we're telling ourselves these lies. Oh, everyone else gets, a relationship. Oh, I've been wasting my time on this path. Twin flame path has a lot to do with healing. And as you heal, you do get your union, but you also get harmony with yourself. It doesn't have to be at the very end of it. You will actually be able to choose whether you choose to be with your twin or whether you choose to be with another. But you both are going through transformation simultaneously. Gifts, opportunities, partnerships, love match, sacrifices and obligations, karmic union, divine revelations. The quadrant has been or will be offered a gift from the gods. Where is it? This will take the form of wisdom or insight or an opportunity. The quadrant is warned, however, of the responsibility inherently in accepting such gifts. Nothing comes from nothing. I know that some of us could get, even the smallest of blessings. It could be having a revelation, getting some information, and then we're sort of like go back to that lower vibration of going lack mentality if I didn't have something nice. But I do feel spiritually, because you guys have gone through things before, many of you, and I checked in with Twin the other day. There was a couple of clients I had and they were saying, is this the masculine's energy? And I said, no, it's not. Because collectively at the moment, because we had Aries and Chiron retrograde and we had Jupiter moving into Aries, we did have Jupiter in Aries previously, but what it does, Jupiter is it gives you both. So if you are in a very toxic situation or, it's sort of like the flashlight that goes onto a circumstance and it heightens it. And of course it's fire energy, isn't it? Because it's Aries. So emotions can come up and they can be heated. And this can be one of those ending months where these things are coming up. So especially when it does relate to Libra, for instance, the shadow sign is Aries. That for you in your relationship sector, you can be going down memory lane, feeling like a victim, going down traumas of how things should have been. You can be having crap popping off with your family or your kids, and it's shadow work. But it's also, this frustration of you're having a revelation that you want connections in your life, that connections are important for you and work isn't. It's not all work, or it could be, how do I balance all areas? But it's going to be very personal for each of us. But it was really heightening the energy for divine feminine of, good grief, where is this bloody going? Anger. Warns against taking gifts and relationships for granted. The worst it for shadows, theft or betrayal. Nobody can ever take something from you that's truly yours. That's why, if anything, if a person is in a karmic relationship, I felt spiritually, by the time that eventuated, I knew I had enough experience over, it's over more than 25 years now. It was like, see you soon, have a pina colada. Because you can't run from your wounds. And if that person's running from you, they're actually not running from you. You're not a problem. They're dealing with some belief system inside their self of expectations, okay? And it doesn't mean you have placed expectations on them. It's a perspective they're embodying and discharging. It may also caution us against giving oneself too freely. Healthy boundaries. Sometimes we go back to feeling as though we have to go back to the status quo or you'll get jack. No, that's your lesson. That's not theirs. That's, you don't have to give the world. And I'm telling you, throat chakra has been coming up big time. Base chakra, throat chakra. Check the use by dates on things. I talk too much. Healthy give and take. That's what you're wanting. With all people. Generally in separation, that crap's going to come up with other people. And so you're not stopping your twin flame journey just because you're out of the connection. You're actually completely joined, totally, always. Synchronistic events will happen on each side of the fence so that we can drop that wound, so that we can drop that perspective, and we can alchemize it inside ourselves as the magician so that we don't have to repeat that pattern with twin. So as two karmics do that with masculine, our social settings, our connections, our friends, our family, what belief systems are we hiding behind? Is it, is it an obligation you have right now? And so the reason you can't go and have X, Y, and Z is because you're standing behind something. Is there a better way you could do that? And Capricorn at the moment is acting very Plutonian, because next year it's going to be moving into that year, into the following year in the 29-degree point, which is what do we need to let go of? And those cycles are going to ease up and we'll have more luck in that Capricorn area. So we're coming into the gate this week. Sort of going, okay, there's a delay here. What is the delay? It might be we're feeling we're doing something wrong. How do we address this? It could be we're looking at this connective and, is this always going to be that way? And I think it's trying to show us something else. It's funny because we've got grandfather sky, and I think it's a combination between Saturn and Pluto. It's like, there's the tried and true, but there's also, do you have to have a cookie cutter relationship? What does it look like? I even had to say to myself at one point, if twin is living somewhere and I'm living somewhere, does that mean we're not in a connection? No, not at all. If you are living together but you don't have a ring, does that mean you're not together? All of those things. But I feel there's something old. And I do think this is to do with the spiritual connection. I'm hearing the term something borrowed, something blue. So there is lady luck on your side. And I do feel sudden changes of directions. But I also feel as though there is a circumstance of old situations cropping back up again. Good old Mercury and Capricorn, where we're looking back, and I'm telling you, what's hidden comes to the foresight. So you could hear gossip about your twin. You could actually bump into them. You could hear something that usually you wouldn't be privy to. They also could be telling you things and you're like, oh crap, I definitely know that that's happened with me over the last 2 weeks. It's like slipped tongues, loose lips sink ships. And it's not negative things. Some of these things are quite eye-opening, but you need to listen. Sometimes, we're listening from a wound instead of listening with our eardrums. And you gain more perspective, taking the emotion out of it and looking at it from an adult point of view and listening, because you're going to then find the solution to this situation. Okay, so some of you are like, okay, am I going about this the wrong way? Is there something I need to do differently? I feel some of you could be putting a status quo out there. It's like, look, this is what I'm needing, and you're seeing this person still exhibiting different behaviors. What is the story telling you? Because I do feel, to a degree, both parties here are tired of the false starts. But I can see from Divine Masculine's cards over here is that both of you are mirroring relating to this. So in the joint connection at the moment, both of you are fed up of the delayed starts. It's like, okay, do we go? No, we're not. We need to pull back. I do feel both parties in the mix have had very unreliable people in their life, not just Divine Masculine, not just Divine Feminine. And I do feel both parties are very scared here. I feel that there is a lot of expectations that are coming up, the pressure points of Christmas, the pressure points of marriages, or, all those preconditioned beliefs we have. And like I said, generally, we will have a mirror in our connection. and we will have a belief, and that belief may actually match what they're believing, and that's why things aren't moving. But I do feel too the key. Sometimes we can actually look at this situation in a romantic sense and we feel they're not traditional, but darn on it, I tell you, they're really, really traditional. So your success is actually going to come through actually being traditional. So what do I mean by that? If you find that your twin is ending up with slim shady energies, don't be slim shadies. That is simply not going to work. And it won't work permanently for the karmic, and they'll have the highest of respect for you, and they will then be able to decipher between the difference. I do feel they are thinking about marriage. I do feel they are thinking about partnerships, but I also feel when you go back into this, sometimes we can have that question mark over what union looks like. And you do need to go back into it each time like it's a brand new relationship, because I'm telling you, it's always very different. You can't ever that person, but you need to slow down and go into it very neutrally. I listened to a person the other day and I was like, don't go anywhere near anyone during Mercury retrograde for relationships. And that's a bunch of crap. That's a bunch of hogwash. Okay. It bodes better with those people because you can get to the crux of something and nobody can hurt you. Nobody can hurt you. So where my vibration used to be many moons ago in my life, in my twin flame path, I actually know the karmics have no power. I actually know the karmics are their own undoing. I actually know they actually dig their own grave. Okay? Am I scared of them? No, I'm not. No, not at all. Not petrified, not scared, not a bother in the world. They're not my problem. So if you can shift that perspective and go, you're doing this to you. You can't blame me. You're doing it to you. You dig your own grave. And you also know that your twin is dealing with that circumstance. Could there be something you're missing? Is there something that you need to look at this point in time? Because I am seeing that this connection is here and nobody can truly take from you what is yours. They might have it like a loan. It might be like a library book. Have fun with that, but it's never permanent. Okay. Both of you are very protective this week. Don't come near me. Don't hurt me. It's sort of like a what's that? You guys, honestly, channeling this energy is difficult to find these words. So Mercury. It's a contradiction. That's the word. It's a contradiction because in one way you're like, come towards me, but in the other there is this dynamic of I don't trust you. You're going to hurt me. People have hurt me. That's something in your shadow, but both of you are doing this. Both of you feel you have an obligation somewhere, which is standing in the way of your connection, but it is on both sides. It is on both sides. So if you have a twin that is with a karmic, one example, karmic sick, what do you have in your life that you're so pissed off at as you are stuck right now dealing with something? Could you be working in the care industry and you hate it? Could you, or maybe you had been in the past actually dealing with that, but there is a direct mirror here in the middle and on both sides of the fence. And there's something where in a perspective sense relating to lineage and connections, it's you have this time frame, but it hasn't quite wrapped up yet. And for that, you feel, God, now I'm going to have to wait. Is this going to be another year? But I really don't feel so. I really don't feel so. It's breaking both of your hearts. Christmas is it's sort of moving into, do we, it's George Michael under the mistletoe, all of that. You want to have fun. You want to be in the high vibe. You want to get into life. I'm going to pull a clarify on this. What the diddly-o is this about? So there's protectiveness. But there's definitely a mirror. Something's holding you back. Something's holding them back. But I still do feel movement. Whether we want it or not. Good old twin flame path. Oh. Okay, believe you me. If you think you can beat your twin up, trust me, they do it better than you. Okay? Because both of you in this joint connection, they are feeling they need to repair fences. So how does that look like prior to union? Generally, they can be doing that test run with the karmic in ending that cycle correctly. neatly, bowing things, filing things, doing it correctly. And then you can gain a perspective that they're singing Kumbaya and having a great time. Could there be an attachment related to money? Yes, there could be. But I think it's so much more than that. I think it's to do with self-esteem, conditioning. I do not think this is to do with wealth at all. Okay, divine masculine. To get to the crux of why this is happening, you guys do have a mirroring situation going on. There is something from the past and there's something moving to the future, and it feels that it's pulled in two directions. Both of you are feeling pulled in two directions. Masculine's crowning energy is to do with, now this can be coming through a few ways because there's so many twins I'm channeling for, but at a collective level, I do feel they're taking a very realistic approach. So if you feel that they're not making advances to you, they're being very realistic, they're being very 3D, it is because they have made the world of mistakes, in their opinion, in their life, and they don't want to mess up this time. Okay? They're being practical, earth-based energy, Capricorn. So is it to do with the contract, to do with marriage, to do with maybe kids? This is a situation they're looking at, and they are entertaining action. Could this be action talking to a professional? It could be. Could this be action associated to DNA tests? It could be. Could this be action relating to a severing of a contract, leaving a job? But that, however this is playing out for your individual twin flame path, they are looking at it from, okay, I do want to address this. Do I address it? How do I tactically approach this? Because they're pissed at the fact that in the past that they had the power, and this is very common for this to happen this way. If you've gone through a breakup, it can take 10 years to recover. If you have had several breakups in your life, you start learning up. You wise up. You're like, nah. So if suddenly they're being very cautious with you, didn't you become cautious? It's not what you say, it's what you do. That you are looking at all things more realistically and even more so inside a twin flame path, because you're like, this one is the fish that got away. This one I need to do it correctly with. Am I ready for this one? Not divine feminine is not for me. It's got nothing to do with that. Am I ready for the divine feminine? Am I ready to give those things? Has divine feminine grown? And believe me, half the time they actually see whether they saw you physically growing, where they saw that you needed to advance or tap in or address something, and they did not want to take that away from you, because that's enabling. So the runner chaser mode comes through that. Their oversoul actually connects with them and they will prevent that. Masculine over here is addressing something, but they're going to be very realistic, okay? Whatever they're dealing with, they are working through it, okay? There is conflict. There's conflict here. Have they had their heart tromped on in their life? Yes, they have. Have they hurt people? Yes, they have. They're humans. But this is a messy situation. They're sitting on it, right? They're sitting on the circumstance. If they're talking to you, it's because they're mulling over, especially if they come towards you and they're talking about things, or you hear through the grapevine. They're mulling over a situation right now in how to best address it, because that they know better, okay? If they jump in the deep end, this could get messy, but they do know once they're moving forward, it's done. I mean, they're moving forward no matter what. There is a movement forward, but there is something old here that they're addressing, that they're having to, so they can have this connection with divine feminine, and it's closing a cycle in some shape or form. But they are really realistically feeling they have shitty luck. So they're taking a very tactical approach with this. I do feel they're seeking professional advice, okay? Whatever this is. Some of them are feeling Especially if you've made a statement to them. If you don't hurry up, I'm going to find someone else. They're just going to back off. It's not a jewel, you know. They don't take that as how do I put it? It's not that it is a threat coming from divine feminine's mouth, okay? It's that if they hear that, they're like, I'm not going to prevent you they're never going to prevent you from having something you want. Okay? We're not children, we're adults. If we say we want something, we go out and make it happen. So if you say to them, this is what I'm going to do, you need to stand firm. But they're not going to say to you, well, you can't have that. You can't have that. So they want you to know what you want. You guys are feeling conflicted, okay? Are things unfair in life? Yes, things are unfair. They suck a fat one. Let's be honest. Had many of those. There are subjects to do with the connection coming up. And you are feeling that feeling of separation, right? You're feeling it. You're like, okay, if I go back in, is this going to be fair? You know, in your opinion, what would you need to see in order for you to trust this connection to move forward? Because you're really, you know, could we be an ego to do with this? Oh, they're having fun. You know, they're not really connected to me. At times, yes. But you want it to be strong, but you want some sense of clarity. And some of you are really in your head. So you could be getting headaches. You could be having sleepless nights. This can be purgatory energy through the higher heart chakra. Why is that? Because Chiron is in the higher heart chakra. At a collective level, we are healing the higher heart chakra, which is Virgoian energy. We've got 3 energies in Mercury. By the 29th, 3 retrograde. By the end of January, all 3 direct. So whatever those subject matters are coming up in your life, they do relate to your twin flame path. And they are about a challenge and a transformation. Always look to your North Node. Always look to, you know, certain things. They are going to affect your ascension. And there is movement in each of our lives at this point moving forward. But it's also because it's Aries, it's what do we need to change? You know, we don't quite understand that a relationship is a two-sided transaction, but at the same time, sometimes we are the common denominator, and there's something that we're wanting to change. There's something we need to address. And we do have the devil card here. Good old Capricorn. It's like Mercury retrograde is going to bring some happiness towards you. It is bringing this back. It's bringing things full 360. It's revelations. A lot of you are taking a standpoint. I'm not communicating with my twin. They can communicate with me. And that's fine. But it's not a competition, you know. You might be feeling, hey, this person's manipulating me. I always say, if you feel the need or urgency inside your aura to communicate with your twin, make it a statement. Don't make it a question. Okay, so what does a statement look like? Oh, Merry Christmas. It's not a respond back to me. It's turn the phone off and walk away. I miss you. Statement piece. I'm upset you treated me that way. I'm sad that you couldn't be transparent with me. I wish you the best. Whatever that be. It depends on the circumstance, okay? But a question is, you know, you've got to say to yourself, remember, use your gifts correctly. Use your gifts correctly. So why is this coming up so heavily in this channel message? Because it could be that you feel you're going back over old ground. It could be that you're getting to a point where you're having old triggers that were coming back again, right? The old crap that we haven't quite let go of. And the panic attacks. It's like, I've got to do something. If I don't do something, something's not going to move. Can that look like manipulation? Well, in a term word, maybe. It could be. If I touch base with this person, have they forgotten me? Believe me, they never forget you. I kicked my butt for that one. I was like, they have my number. They know where I am. They know my mother, my brother, my sisters, my child. They got contacts. I'm telling you, especially in Australia. Twin said to me years ago, Sydney, 3 degrees to separate. No, 1 degree of separation. How did he put it? 1 degree of separation in Sydney. Why is that? Yes, I'm in Australia. Because you get lost in the crowd. You go missing, no one's going to know. 2 degrees of separation, more Melbourne. 3 degrees of separation, Western Australia. Every Tom, Dick and Harry knows each other. Jumped into a group the other day. Somebody mentioned that my henna turned up at their house, and it was an old rental. And sure enough, in this group, there was easy 10 people I knew. 10 people I knew. So 3 degrees of separation. Now, there is a way they can contact you. They know your previous house. Generally, feminine in traditional form doesn't change her bloody number. How many of you haven't changed your number? How many of you kept it that way just in case? Just in case. I'm telling you, I want admittance here. Oh, thanks, Star. I'm telling you, I slapped this crap on today. I had to move my sister's house. I did my hair dye. I was like, no, I'm going into the new year. Nail cracked. Well, you don't move furniture. I was like, this is a new fashion statement. Lopsided nail. I was like, it is what it is. Got to help a sister out. Okay, so Giggle has admitted she had the same number for 20 years. You wait till I tell you how long I've had mine. Okay, so Giggle has admitted she's had the same number. You haven't changed it? Okay. Now, how many other? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I am not working with technology right now. Same number. Okay. Now, any more? Any more? Dawn, do you have the same number? It won't matter because he knows where you live. And how many live in the same district? Yes, there you go. How many live in the same district? We've got admittance here. 10 years. Look, I had the same bloody car. I had the same bloody number. 30 years. And believe me, Twin knew it off by heart. He had me saved in different names. Yeah. It's the different. Okay. Now, do you feel if you change your number, your twin won't find you? They do. Okay? You can change your number. Unfortunately, in a world of social media, they're going to find you. Trust me. And universe does this jerky job of just throwing us together anyway. You can't hide. You could go to a different point in the world. I've had twins that I've coached that have been at a bloody airport and their twins been there. Why? Because there's a spiritual connection. Change your bloody numbers if you have to. It's okay. Believe me, they will find you. Same number. Okay, so we're creatures of habit. And so they know whenever they need to because you are always consistent. You don't have to be consistent. It's quite sexy to be a little bit masculine, mirroring their energy. Because they're like, oh, this one let her hair down finally. About time. This one loosened up a little bit. You know, I was the cookie cutter female that was quite rigid with my beliefs. I should have been a nun, really, honestly, until I rebelled. And then it was, you know, I should have been the devil. Because there is this belief that if you do, you know, they might not find you. Trust me, though, Facebook, Instagram, bumping into that person in a different country, it won't matter. It is a spiritual connection. You can, and look, we all psychically, ever been in a car and you're driving along and you're humming a song and then 2 seconds later it comes on. We're all interconnected, for goodness sakes. We just have way too much ego associated that we don't directly see it. Yeah, trust me, they'll find you. They'll find you. Because even when I did change mine, he still found me. I changed mine because I was sick of hearing the Karmics, not because I'm scared of them. I'm sick of hearing them buzz me. You tell him. No, you tell him. And you could have told him if you behaved. We make our own beds. Okay, so there are wounds coming up here, dolls. You've got wounds you're like, it's not fair. I earned this. Are they doing something at the moment that you've had information on and you're feeling as though they're living some happy life? Even when I had a holiday in a soulmate relationship, trust me, I indulged in that at a time. My soul was quite broken. I didn't know I was a twin flame, and I don't think it doesn't mean that we can't have love. It doesn't mean that we can't choose connections. Twin flame path means that you guys were connected into a previous life. You have soul contracts. You trigger each other. Thanks very much. But you can spiritually, once you heal and ascend, you can choose each other. You understand each other very, very well because you are the mirror to each other. Yeah. Okay, so you're like, every time you think it's go, as far as you're concerned, there's a separation. You need to break that chain psychologically. You need to look at it differently. You're trying to find, it's like trying to find the key. Trying to find the key. The key usually is by not stopping making choices for your life. So what could that look like? I need to move. I need to address money. I need to address parenting. I need to address my soul purpose, my mission, my life mission. Not putting my life on hold like you're waiting for a soldier and you've left a soldier behind. When you do that, it actually comes towards you because you've placed yourself. We can't have masculine prioritizing us if we don't do the same to ourselves. The masculine's going through the same crap right now. There's a level up over here. There's trying to address a wound, address a success story, some sense of commitment that's very tradition and Capricorn and orientation. They're trying to address that in a wound sense. But we also are. It's not what we say, it's what we do. And at the moment, we're not acting. At the moment, we're sort of, could it be a conversation you need to have with somebody? Could it be the conversation with your twin, but you feel you've said it 100 times? Keep repeating and reiterating. You can be happy. Like you can and you will be happy. And you do know damn straight this person's coming back. But there's something you're missing in this at the moment that you're not particularly looking at. Because sometimes when we're too close to the wound and we're looking at Christmas and New Year's, we're in our ego. We're like, this happened to me. And believe me, I totally understand. I did the same thing. So are some of you worried that or are some of you feeling you don't want to talk to your twin anymore? Is there a time in your life where you felt that you didn't behave and you were schooled, you were told off so bad that people completely turned their back on you? Because I'm telling you, divine feminines are boss. They're boss, right? But a lot of that was due to our personal circumstances. It's like the real strict parent. If you don't do this, there's going to be a cause and effect. And in general, we have learnt that. Love in reverse. Not talking to you. Okay? Yeah. This can be healed. Look, Christmas in reverse, right? Masculine hasn't moved quick enough. Could we be going into the I value me? I value me. But you know, at a foundation level, spiritual lessons happen when they happen, right? There is a healing cycle going on here. There is a healing and recovering, and I do feel movement. I don't not feel movement, but I feel there is a pause here at the moment. And look, I do feel this pause and this reflection. If you do this for about 3 times, it's shifting, and I do feel physical movement. But at the moment, there's like and I remember seeing this in 2017. It literally was like, in the old days, the 1800s, where 2 people are handed a weapon, we will be in code, and they have to walk 10 paces in the opposite direction a jewel. And then you turn. This is what's happening here. However, this person does love you. This person does want to be with you. This person is going through a closing cycle. They're very, very close. But there's a personalization of this happening over in divine feminine side, but it's happening for a given reason. It's happening in a shadow sense. You do love them. There is the healing through the higher heart chakra. But you're very cross. You know, some of you are feeling, you know, when is this shit going to move? I did say to you, Christmas is one of the hardest times. Okay, let's see. I'm going to get a chakra card. It's not in what the person says, it's in what they do. Okay, so do you feel as though this person is not shifting? They could come to your home unexpectedly. There also is a move of house. They're going to start entering your dream state. Okay, there's a lot of divine feminines that can be a little bit pissed off at the flexibility, but there's pressure point coming from your own life, dogs. Okay, the sacral chakra energy is coming up. But again, remember, you'll know when you say, oh, my energy's been really good. Ask yourself this question, huge tip. If it's gone from balance to I'm really good, it's too extreme. Keep it harmonized. So usually that will indicate an egoic experience, which, trust me, I've done it myself. So I'm speaking from my own personal experience. You'll have the balance of the scales like Libra. And in your chakras, it is key. There's times in retrogrades and directs where you're going to have certain chakras popping off in your ascension and your twin flame path. At the moment, it's very inflamed, okay? It's wounded. It's like cut. It's weeping. You're trying to heal it and base it. You're trying to have the courage. And we're going to be having that. We're going to feel, I did say it is going to shift in vibration. But between now and, you know, January, it's a little bit conflicting because there's triggers that can come up. And it's not just because it's your twin flame path. It's in your own 3D life as well as the globe collectively, all right? When it goes to extremes, we'll either be super cocky and fly like my shit don't stink. That's egoic. It's not completely true because it's more, and it's not that you don't, and it's not that you aren't fly. It's that it's an extreme reaction through the chakra system, and it's overzealous. It's either underactive or overactive. Solar plexus and sacral chakra, which can be exuding confidence and middle finger up to passive and victim consciousness and unmotivated and stuffing our faces. And, you know, so the extremes are coming through these chakras at the moment, all the way from the base, sacral, solar. Are we having headaches and throataches? Yeah, because Mercury energy. But overall, you know, you could end up having an imbalanced tummy. If these chakras are overactive and you're very creative, a lot of ideas, your chakras and your pistons are all working super on point, it's going to be almost to the point you're going to burn out. And this mind energy through the sun, you're gonna start feeling fried, okay? Because you're going too fast. Drink fluid, slow down. Spiritually, I do feel they know that you're the bomb. They do. You're not the issue. The joint connection in the belief systems through your energy system is feeling a trigger at this point. Now, what I do predict is divine feminines are going to ease up, and you usually feel things 2 to 3 weeks before they do. If you had a pretty shitty 2 to 3 weeks, it is transitioning over to divine masculines. I do, however, feel they're going to deal with this in a very grounded way. It could be silence. It could be, you know, meditation on this. It could be revelations, the penny dropping. But I feel they are going to take a really grounded approach. I feel if you calm your energy, this communication is coming in, and it is loving. It is loving. It is going to be open, but you need to drop the feeling of feeling as though you've lost a soldier. You can't lose your soldier, I'm telling you. And sometimes it can dictate that we have lost our own inner soldier. Yeah. Any questions relating to this read, not your personal sense? Like, you know, we do that in the super chats, but any questions in relation to this situation here? Do I see movement? Yes, but I do feel if you sit down just for a moment, you're going to find a joint mirror, and it's the key to it. Once you can address that and look at it differently, I feel things are going to move. But I do feel there is a mirror here. I do feel masculines also, if you feel they're going down one road and they're not moving towards you, no, that's not how it's happening. I do feel they're addressing something that needs addressing in order to move forward, but they're taking a very tactical approach. They also, those that did come out of a karmic relationship, if they're not running towards you right away, would you? If you went through a horrendous karmic relationship, I feel they're not going anywhere. They're checking in. They're saying to you, look, I love you. I want to be around you. I need to take things slow. Say nothing. Choose what you choose. But I do particularly feel this person has a little bit of PTSD. Okay, they're going slowly. They know they can't trust you. They're going slow. A karmic also doesn't have to be a romantic connection. It could be a job. It could be a friendship group that really cracked them over. Some are having falling outs with friendships as well. Okay, I'm telling you, these blasts from the past are coming back. Don't shy away from them. Know that you can change your mind. If you guys have to, for instance, sign a contract, you can change your mind at the end of January. It's okay. Stress less. Now, would I say major contracts like purchasing a house or something like that? Probably delay if you can, but we have to live. We can't put everything on hold. We just can't. I feel masculines going through something. Well, yeah, they are. Well, Jupiter energy, and masculines are going through, they won't admit they're tired, but they are very tired. They're trying to correct things. They've got major plans for next year. Major plans, but they are reflective. They are nostalgic. We do have a lot of our guides around us at the moment. That is keeping us company, but also upsetting us a bit because we miss them. Because we're trying to heal them, and generally it never comes well from divine feminine. They'll sit with it for a bit. Because our attachment generally, innately, these gifts are gifts, but how do we use them? It's even being a guru, for instance. We have to be very careful, and our style changes over the years. I know my style's changed over the years, especially if I was seeing something in a chart or in your aura, channeled messages. I was very cautious about how I would give it. Now, our guides over the last few years have been very strict and to the point, but also I have seen what does and doesn't work with masculine. If we are going into that energy vibration, it's because we have an attachment. We feel if they don't heal, we won't have a union. It's an attachment. You will get your gift, but they actually learn it correctly and they address it correctly and they deal with it as soon as they do. And when they're ready to talk about it, trust me, they're going to open up to you. And that would be the opportunity to discuss it. But if they don't broach that subject, you can say something to the degree of, I'm a little bit concerned about you. You know, you're looking really run down. But if you bring it up, it feels like we've stripped that person naked, and that's their personal boundary. You know, especially channeling any energy, I always ask permission to channel. It's permission entry, and the same applies with us because we have a bubble. He's got to be tired. Yeah, I'm tired. Oh, God. I'm getting lots done, but I'm bloody tired. So, where are we at with the super chats? Whom is here? I need to keep an eye on the time because I do have lots of clients today, the last day of clients. If you guys are wanting a booking, you better jump into the January calendar because they will fill up fast. Especially with the transits, people are going to be triggered. I do think you guys are going to get communication coming in. I do think you're going to have opportunities to talk about the past. Some of you are going to have surprise turn-ups and surprise movements. Don't get scared. Yes, I may have emergency readings, but you will need to PM me via the website if you need me, okay? Let's get the cards ready. We do have the premiere next week for your twin flame path, so I've pre-recorded it, and you can see where the joint connection is. 100. Well, Chris, I'm pretty sure you're Pisces. Dawn, I'm pretty sure you're Gemini. Jupiter just left Pisces. Anywhere Jupiter is, it also can make us gain weight. I mean, I'm really a bit worried about next year because mid-year it moves into Taurus, and I'm like, no! Okay, so who's the first super chat? Can we believe it? The last super chat of the year. Yeah, it's like pretty good memory, man. So if you get all these financial things popping off, Chris, you're like, ah. Leo next. Let's see what's happening with you, my love. Okay. Leo next, have you been in communication? Because I see that person picking up the phone. I do see them picking up a phone. I see them buy a phone. They're having a bit of deja vu. They're thinking back to the last time Christmas passed. I do see this person standing there with the phone. Look, is he thinking back to previous karmics and, you know, their parenting skills and all the rest of it? 100%. I actually feel that they're looking at it thinking that the previous karmic is very lazy. Very lazy. That's not too bad. It's still a week. 7 years, 21 years. And then they just pop in, hey, you know the deal, call me. I actually remember deleting the number. You're a dag. Okay, so, did you guys have a fight? Was there some, because I'm really not feeling a fight, but there's some sense of conflict. There's something to do with the karmic coming up, but it's the karmic mother, okay? Have you been thinking about the karmic mother? Yeah, well, they were making reference to the previous Christmas situation with tribe, brother. And remembering back to that, there's a bit of worry that they're thinking is the same going to happen, and they're concerned about that. They're definitely looking at a situation relating to a karmic. I don't think this is a romantic partnership. I don't think it's been a romantic partnership for a very long time. And I do think they're kind of tired of the status quo because they're looking at this person and they're thinking, look, this is preventing me from actually, you know, addressing my life, addressing situations. They also feel that if they were like, they're kind of, and I do feel with all this Capricorn energy, the masculines at the moment are looking at tradition very heavily. So when I say tradition, it's expectations. It's like, look at my family. This is what we do. This is how we've been raised. This is my role. Do I feel your masculine Leonix is thinking about their tribe, the mother, father energy? I don't know why father was totally out. I don't know whether they have a father figure, but they're dominantly showing me mother. They're not showing me father. I don't know what that references to, but the expectations are needing to be there and trying to balance both sides. And I'm physically feeling they're really re-looking at that and going, this is really unfair to me because I feel piggy in the middle and I can't make everyone happy. And I think that's a reality we kind of get faced with. So I do feel they're trying to be fair to everyone. It's the sadness. You know, the sadness of trying to be there for everyone and not being able to make everyone happy. Where do I be? How do I be here? How do I be there? So, and this is in the past position, you know, relating to mother. It's like, you know, did I use those gifts correctly? But I'm actually feeling father energy, so I don't know if there's something coming up with the father at the moment. But there's regrets relating to this. I do feel the parent figure made reference to the karmic in the past. So I don't know whether they met this karmic or knew of this karmic and believed this was a huge issue. I do feel they sip from the devil's cup. It's like, look, I really did kind of pick some pretty crappy situations. There's no, I'm telling you, there's no karmic relationship as per se, but I feel him really reflecting over the ghosts of girlfriends past. You know, it's the choices that we made and the people that we kind of ended up with. He wants to be happy, but I think for a while there, he almost through his lessons was like, why would I bother getting into a relationship? A relationship is nothing but drama, expectation, and criticism. That was the attitude he was taking. So it was like, well, it's so much simpler because what's that? We want prenup. You know, it's like, you know, the 18 years. That's what I'm hearing. And it's like getting caught up in these things, maybe when you're really young, and then it's affecting your whole life. It's not like a divorce, you know. It's where it directly affects us ongoingly. And I would not be surprised if over the next 2 years these subjects come up. Maybe even to do with divorces and prenups and things like that, because the Libra moves into the South Node and their contracts are going to be revolved. They're going to evolve. They're going to have to. They won't work anymore. They don't work. You know, just because we had a relationship, it doesn't mean to say we don't have a right to have a new life. And I do feel from a financial point of view, it does affect us doing such. So it could come up. There is a potential. Now, I do see him wanting to be happy, but I also feel that he's having this revelation that he does want it with you. Has he been a little bit too extreme? Yes, I do feel so. Very top of the chat, there's YouTube or there's PayPal. Dough on the PayPal links there. I'll pull one more card. You're wondering, do you contact them? He told me that several times that he couldn't have any relationships. Yeah, well, would you? That's why being nonchalant. Go, no, I don't want one either. I do remember years ago. God, this was funny. I was literally standing on, you know, I would work 7 days a week, went out with some girlfriends on one evening, and I was literally like, I never want a relationship. I said, I am not dating. I just can't. I'm not interested. And this guy said, can I date you? And I said, I don't want a relationship. He goes, that's why I want to date you. Okay, so I remember a friend also saying to me, Yildiz, you're trying too hard. It's because we're like, I'm going to go get a relationship. I mean, I'm short of, look at this coil. Look like ringlets, Shirley Temple. Short of going on a dating site, do you think Omar Sharif is going to drop down? I don't know why I use Omar Sharif. My grandmother thought he was hot. I mean, he's not ugly. He wasn't ugly. But I mean, let's use Brad Pitt. Like Brad Pitt's going to fall down from the sky and just make all your hopes and dreams come true. I mean, number one, you got to get to know them. Do they eat the foods that you like? Do they have something in common with you at an intellectual level? It's no magic fix, you know, fairy godmother coming down. This is the real world. And then you got a history with a twin. But I do feel if you're more detached and you're nonchalant, you have your own vibe, you have your own house, and you're moving forward and you're living your life and going, I've got my life together. They're going to be concerned. I did tell you the key to it a while ago. You got your house, they're going to be like, she can have people coming over. I don't know what she's doing. No, well, you need to actually buy the cake before you get to know what's going on with me. What did you say? He does, but he's also checking in. It's like the live away husband. No benefits without buying the cake. You don't feed the dinosaur. Unless, of course, you get something out of it, and then that's your call. Where are we? I'm cross-eyed, Giggle. It's your turn, girl. She's worried now. Giggle, are the dogs barking in the background? What's going on? Whoa. You called it. 7 of Cups. You called it yesterday. 7 of Cups. So you got the 7 of Cups here, Giggle. I feel, realistically speaking, you're going through the rabbit hole, you're thinking back on things, but look, it's not like you don't have experience, right, with the 7 of Cups. But I do feel you could be thinking that you're keeping your options open. You're trying to make a different decision. Who let the dogs out? Oh, God, tell me about it. Who let the dogs out? Oh. What are they showing me here? Okay, you're thinking that they're worried about getting into a relationship with you. You're trying to look in your head. You're like, look, it's sort of like you're looking at this circumstance and you're saying this person comes in, it seems all good. Is there something missing? Is there a reason why this person is not moving forward? This is sending you on a bit of a yo-yo. You're trying to keep balanced, but it's sending you on yo-yo. Because you're going from the 7 of Cups. This could be concocting up a bunch of things. So number one, you could be going into the belief of maybe they're doing something. You know, it's like we sit there and we're having all these things come in and you're getting grounded and the person comes in and then you're going back to square one again, where in the 7 energy, you're saying to yourself, it's almost like you go through the rabbit hole of thoughts. Are they seeing someone? Are they doing something? Do I trust them? Do they not find me attractive? Am I not good enough in bed? Whatever that is. Okay? Shit. And then you go down the rabbit hole of going, do I need to do something? Do I need to get my babs out? Like, what do I need to do here? Because remember the beginning reading, it's interesting that both readings I've done so far are showing this element where divine feminine in these 2 readings I've done are feeling they need to do something. But inherently, we need to use these gifts effectively. So it's almost like you could be going over old patterns, and that's fully your Onyx and Googles. Like, do I need to contact this person? Do I need to hold their hand and show them where the G-spot is? I'm just being sarcastic here, but you don't have to. You don't have to, because it takes 2 to move an energy, okay? So you could be coming down to this, oh my God, you know, if I do, is that stupid? If you're going to text message any of you, you can make a statement piece. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. It's a statement. It's not, what are you doing? Or it can't be there's something going on with you. In dart, give me a hand. Because again, that's a question. That's a trying to get a raise or a movement or a communication. You're wasting your breath. Yeah, and usually you'll get the same response, 0. Masculines can be very basic in their communication. There is an art to that communication. It is, I said, I know what I want in my life and I'm moving forward. And they turn up at your place. If you're wanting to see them, that is fine. Make it short and sweet and say, look, I actually have plans. You need to look like a high vibe female that has your life together and you have plans and you don't wait around for no man. And if they feel you're sitting there and you're waiting, they're just going to keep turning up when they want to bloody turn up. And that is not no. You are a high vibe female that has things to do. And it doesn't mean they're doing this on purpose to you. It doesn't. And I'm not seeing this at all. I do feel this person has intents. I do feel this person, but this person wants you to relax a bit so that it can flow. So that they, what was that song? Give your heart a break. But I'm also seeing the one that Pink sung, and that did come through for you last time, Giggle. It's almost saying, let me get this together. Give me a moment. Let me get this together. And I do feel that this person is actually trying to do that. And I think, let me check his name. I hope it doesn't cut you off. Adam Lambert. What do you want from me? I'll get the lyrics. There it is. Okay, now initially Pink actually wrote this song, to my belief, don't quote me. Hey, slow it down. What do you want from me? Yes, I'm afraid. What do you want from me? Like, you know, it's almost like the person is feeling that they're having to explain themselves. And I do, like I said, in the collective energy read, it is to do with the fact that both people are scared here, both people are hurt, both people are wounded. And there's this urgency, like we want to rush into it, like, hey, okay, like for me, for instance, my journey was 25 years. My journey continues in my life. No attachment. It is what it is. I could lose it. I could keep it. It's the way life goes. But when we're going into it, although we know that person, we haven't had the ability to fully know. And so it's almost like you have to go into it like it's a fresh baby you're nurturing, right? There might have been a time when I would give myself away. Once upon a time, I didn't give a damn. Go and read the lyrics because it has a synchronistic message in it for you. But basically what they're trying to say is, I do love you. I do want to be with you. I have some things I'm working out at the moment. Please trust me. I'm coming back to you. Go and listen to the lyrics. It's got your channeled messages in it. Giggle. Okay? But what do you want from him? Because what we want doesn't come through the other person. What he's asking you is, please have empathy for me, that I'm going through a circumstance. It's not personal. I don't mean to hurt you. It's not personal. I would love to get to where I need to be today. How many times do we say that to ourselves? When am I going to stop purging? It's because we're putting so much bloody pressure on ourselves, right? I better hurry up or I'm not going to make it to my readings. Okay, so we have Cosmic Journey. Where are we at, my love? That washing machine, I'm divorcing. I looked at my sister's washing machine yesterday. I was like, oh, definitely. It's got sparkles on top. How you doing? Are you looking after yourself? You got luck around you. Have you had some good news? I get good news happening around you. I get good news, and I'm hearing, I don't know why I'm hearing this. Na, 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 na. It feels very like whatever it is, it's almost like you're gonna be happy with something. Something's gonna make you laugh. You could be maybe loosening up, getting your hair down, and it's like, you know, being a little bit more playful. I feel this moving forward, okay? But something is going to make you do the ha, 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 ha. So it's like this could be to a sibling. It's almost like maybe having a little bit to drink and just loosening up and you're saying something to somebody, but it feels like it's to a friend or a sister but it feels comical. Nevertheless. Now, are we looking at romance? Are we looking at romance here? Because at the moment, you're sort of like everything is status quo. You're really bored. You're like, yeah. That's why I think the hair's coming down. It's like I'm seeing you maybe shaking that stagnant vibration off. Yeah, you had a feeling of maybe deciding to do something, but you're trying to not take a tactical approach. Were you wanting to contact somebody? You got the same thing. Was there a pressure point that you wanted to call? Because we've got the same bloody card, all three people. And it was the collective energy of using our powers correctly. There's something to do with spiritual freedom. Now, that can be leaving a karmic situation, being free, being single. They're making reference to, how do I explain this? Okay, number one, you always know when you can smell her out. That's what I'll say. So your intuitive energy is very on point. They want you to start trusting your instincts. I do feel you might have been getting some synchronistic messages, but they're saying maybe you're not listening. Maybe you're not taking it as a synchronistic message. You're not trusting your gut instincts. I was in hermit mode. I finally broke and communication has been... Haha. Yeah, so it's like you could be getting some information, because it went from, okay, do I need to contact... I don't know. It's almost like they're either dealing with something or you're gauging something. Is this person dealing with an old cycle still? Because they're asking you to be realistic with this. Realistic at this point where it stands. It might be that there's some information that comes in. Yeah, because like are they coming through traditionally? Yes, they are. There could be some inklings in their voice that they need to leave this contract. Now it could be a marriage. We've got a wife there. They're protecting you. Okay, they're protecting you. This appears to be some sense of a karmic contract. They know they're not happy, but they're also adhering to it in a socially responsible, integral way. Okay, they could be acting very different to the way to how it's been of late. There could be this very traditional approach they're taking. I don't know why I'm seeing a very tall individual, but I feel that they still may communicate with you, but there's also this bridge that there's a fence that they've put there until they complete this. This could be in their demeanor. They're asking you to view it. Does that make sense? But you're aware this person's not happy, but they also need to know what makes them happy so that they can draw. I think they're quite nearing it. It does feel as though they're trying to be realistic. I also feel, doing what is socially acceptable, maybe due to Christmas and New Year's. I also feel, if this is text message, I do feel the karmic's aware. Could be that they are spotting a text message or something to that degree. An image, I'm seeing an image. There's an image of some description. Could be a photo. I'm hearing mid-January, something goes pear-shaped. That's all they're referencing. At the moment, this person's standing firm. I do believe a photo has been viewed. You know what's strange? I think this is most recent. I think this revelation in the Karmic's life is most recent. I don't think it's been like something that's been out in the open. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay, so is it causing conflict? Yes. There's a T section in the road. If you sent a photo, FYI, I think it's been viewed. There's a photo. That's what they keep making reference to, a photo. But mid-January, they're making reference to. Yeah. So the conversation's coming back up again. Yes. They tend to take the approach of not wanting to... just something's going to go pear-shaped in the connection. At the moment, they're standing firm that they're addressing something, maybe because of Christmas and New Year's. After that, they wish their intention is, but it could happen earlier. That's all they're showing me. That's all they're saying. That something is going to do a 180. I don't think counterparts expecting it. I think they have a set plan, quite a set plan as to how they feel this should go. So I don't directly feel this is something they're expecting. That's all they're making reference to. I hope that helps. Who do we have next? Cosmic Connection. Marie. How you doing, Marie? The Karmic, love. Anyone want to dive deeper? Jump in and grab a booking in January. That's okay. Each Q&A 20. Beyond that is the second question. We're time restrained. Hi, Dal. What's going on with twin if communication is coming in? Something feels quite close, actually. Something's happening in their life. They're floating. Their energy feels floating around you. It doesn't feel negative. Feels very neutral. Yeah, it's very connected, but it's really floaty. I don't know. Maybe that's a reference that they're a water sign. Who knows? But it feels very floaty. It feels very peaceful. They're thinking of you. Now, this could be two things. Feeling a separation or thinking about a separation, but it feels something to do with separation here. They're thinking about you. Oh. I feel if anything is happening, it might be a phone call or a text message, but it's something it's quite spontaneous. It does feel quite spontaneous, but the consideration is there. I'll say that. Like they are coming as the full card, in taking a leap forward. This could be almost missing you from, missing you a far distance. Well, they don't want to make out that how do I put it? See, they're babbling, they're mumbling. It's almost like they don't want to admit that they miss you. They're trying to stay focused on their work. They're like, I need to let this go. But interconnectedly, they're thinking about you a lot. They do feel it would be unfair if they contacted you. I don't know on what reference they're making, but they feel that they also, they're making reference to you have walked a mile in their shoes. So be careful. This is the same bloody card. I'm telling you, if in communication this week and moving into January, please, guys, be very careful. Use your gifts correctly. Don't use them as weapons. Use them correctly. Upgrade your passwords because this is such a relevant message come Mercury. I think we need to be very careful. Are they aware you're single? They're making reference to wanting to be single on both sides so that they can move. They do look at you as the high priestess. They could be also getting advice from a female friend. They don't know. It's like, is it appropriate for them to tell you how they feel? It depends on the circumstances. But this could be them turning up, okay? So it can be changes they're directly making in their life, so that communication can flow more freely, or but something, it's permanent. It's permanent changes. It's not temporary. It's not just, hey, you're going to get a text message. It doesn't feel like that. It feels that what they're looking for is something in a permanent level, if that makes sense. So if what they're not telling you is they're not as happy, like in their life in general, they are. There could be something to do with a career transition they're going through. They're making reference to proximity and either addressing a karmic partner or addressing love and wanting to go into a deep commitment. Okay? What is that song? Do I stay or do I go? That's what I'm hearing. Do I stay or do I go? But they are thinking about you in every element of it, so that's not bad. It seems positive. But whatever they're looking at, this major decision is for a permanent reason. How many left do I have, Giggle? I can't pronounce the next lady's name and I feel rude. It's a show. I swear in the future we're going to have YouTube talking to us. That's okay, Marie. It doesn't feel bad, but whatever it is, it's permanent. So I think that's responsible. They're looking at something more from a permanent point of view than a flighty sending out an SOS sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Shush. I can't pronounce it. I'm not going to. And that's pretty rich considering my name is one of those names you just can't pronounce. I just always knew they were calling me because the teacher would go quiet. She just didn't know what to say. Yelled at. I don't know, but it's very pretty. Yes, that is her. The queen. The pretty one in the house. Shashta. Look, this is what happens when your parents take you to a European country and you learn 3 different languages. You know, English becomes the last language, not the first. English is one of the hardest languages to learn. Did you know that? European language can be picked up 1 year. Easy. I think I was talking Turkish in 3 months. And it wasn't my first tongue. But I had no choice. I wanted to communicate. And Dad took me over to his country. We were visiting family. We went to live there. And I was like, well, I'm going to get a bit bored looking at the wall, watching paint dry. So your first words generally are swear words, especially being that we were teenagers, you know. The next were the essentials, you know, toilet, water, please, thank you, TV. Okay, well, she hasn't showed up, so I'm just going to pull the cards for her and feel the energy that's coming through. Yeah, Turkish actually is, the way it's pronounced, it's actually spoken backwards. So if you can say the sky is blue, the blue is the sky. It's sort of like it's spoken backwards. Or I'm going to the shop I go. It's like, what? But it makes sense when you say it. So I think they go to turn the TV off, televizyona kapat lütfen. And it's like, the TV, turn off, please. It was like, what? Oh. Merry Christmas, sweet. Okay, what do I see? I do see that, look, this person, they're I don't know if you've been getting it, but they're all up in your heart chakra. It's almost like you're trying to get you're trying to move your life forward. It feels very high vibe, but it feels it's coming in. It's all up here. It's all in the heart chakra. It's almost like it's bothering you. It's like, whoa, stop. Okay, they're actually, not that they would like to do this. Let me put it this way. This person, your love interest, is very traditional. Okay, probably more than what you are. Let me put it that way. It's like this person's really traditional, going back to the heydays of tradition. We're talking like dark age style, which is all good. But it's not working at this point. So, you know, they're trying to keep their head in the A game. They're like, this is where I am. This is what I've got to do. But you keep popping up. Your name could be coming up on street signs. It could be songs that remind them of you. They're trying to keep their eye focused on the goal, but they are thinking about you. But it's the other thing is the chemistry. Now, I don't know. It's very fiery. It's very passionate. So, the addictive tendencies are coming in, but it's more from a romantic level. I'm speaking in code. It's almost like, you know, you're driving to the person's house. You're like, I shouldn't be going here. No, I shouldn't. I really shouldn't be going to see her. I shouldn't. You know, that moment in life where you're thinking, look, it could be connection all good. And like the person's at work and they're trying to keep their head in the A game. But meanwhile, they're thinking about 101 ways to skin a cat. Just metaphorically, you know. They want to be naughty with you. That's what's coming through. They do want to be naughty with you. And coming from a traditional person, this is huge for them. They're like, this person's very traditional. Yeah, look, movement. What are they perplexed with? The fact that they want something that they feel that they should wait and get their ducks in a row first. But they're also like, I don't know if I want to wait. I need to go now. I want to go now. Do they feel if they make these decisions and they do it the correct way, it'll be nicer? Yeah, they do. Like, whatever this is that they're trying to address, I feel they're trying to do it in a healthy way, but being patient with that is becoming problematic for them. So sometimes they're actually saying to themselves, maybe I need to pull that down. Your vibe is really good, love. I don't feel any bad luck around you. I feel quite positive. I do see people smiling. I do feel a social event coming. That it feels more towards New Year's, if that makes sense. New Year's into January, I see social events surrounding loved ones. You may have sudden news, but no matter what, it is bringing a new chapter. Is there an anniversary of somebody passing coming up for you? Because they're making reference to an anniversary of a loved one that passed over. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm fairly sure it's on your side. This could be an elder. This could be somebody that's unwell at the moment. I love delayed and who do we have after? Yeah, we better close the super chat down or I'm not going to make it. Last call for super chats because we're closing it down. Okay, so I'm saying the reconciliation. If you aren't with this person already, because I feel it's right there at the door, they're wanting this, but they're kind of like, okay, I need to go from here to there. I do feel one of the dates they're telling me is this is how it's coming through or being shown to me. There is either a person that's really unwell and you're already well and truly aware of it, or this is an anniversary of someone that passed over. It's coming up. They're making reference to that time frame of a shift. Okay? That's about the best way I can describe it. But your vibe around you is very good. There are brand new beginnings coming in, that they're obsessively thinking about you. Yeah, I feel so. I feel this person actually has matured a great deal. I don't necessarily feel the maturity wasn't there. I feel from our perspective of making, because this feels cultural. It does feel quite cultural what I'm seeing going on in the maturity sense. So from culture's difficult because we actually our conditioning, and because this is all Capricorn moving into January and really over the next 2 years. Spiritually speaking, in divine masculine's life, if they have that lineage and conditioning, that can be religion, it could be expectations in a culture, then although we're breaking that mold a little bit, we do need structure to a degree. So we're sort of holding on to it. It's like, look, we do need integrity, respect. But it's also where we need to, kind of move direct, and we can be bumping into these blasts from the past, having to address these belief systems in order to look at what we need to let go of that is physically now just an excuse to not decide what is correct for us. Does that make sense? I hope that helps. But yeah, it does appear to be something is coming up for that person, but they're making reference to an ill grandparent or somebody that already had passed. That date is key for something transforming in your twin flame connection. It's directly after that, something moves forward. I hope that helps, Doc. Otherwise, feel free to book a reading. Then we can go further. Who do we have next? Cha! Let's see what's going on, Cha. Whoa. Oh, Chart, your vibe is pretty good, Dale. You're having good days, bad days. Let me put it that way. Yeah, well, it does seem like the person's obsessively thinking about you. I do see travel as well. Okay, let's see, Char. What's going on with you? I'm feeling Char ups and downs. If Char has fallen asleep in the building, please resurrect Char. Let's see for Char. Okay, you're having, oh God. Look, you may be more popular than you think. You could be going hot and cold, like I mentioned last week, Char. There's something in the mix going on, but there is something happening very quickly. Look, spiritually, you're having your good days, right? I'm feeling you're having your good days, and then there's really dark. It's like really dark. Leave me alone. Back off. Don't want to deal with anyone. You're hoping to goodness you can, I feel you might have been feeling tired and maybe power napping or needing to sleep, feeling really foggy. You probably need to increase your fluid. There's all that Mercury energy at the moment. So between your crown and your Mercury energy, I feel you can sense that something's changing. I don't know why, but I'm getting a lot of people that are interested in you at the moment. You're like, look, I don't even know if I want to. I do, but I don't. You've got this feeling that this blast from the past is coming back, and you're like, right, I'm just going to get my life together. I'm going to move on with somebody, and then this person's going to bloody move back. That's how you're feeling. And you're like, but, why do I still love the person that kind of kicked me to the curb? Why? Why is that? Why do I have those feelings? There's chemistry here. You might have even thought, was it the chemistry basis? No, it's so much more than that. You're going to hear some gossip. Merry Christmas, Star. Look after yourself. There is some gossip coming up. I do feel that you've got, but I'm telling you, I'm really solidly feeling that you're going to have a lot of that are interested, and it's like you're going to get pissed off. You're like, why are these people interested? And this person's just, MIA'd. Do they know what kind of catalytic kind of event they created in my life? But I do feel you're going to get some gossip, and I think you're going to be pretty happy. Happy? I think you might empathize. I don't feel it's like I'm really glad you're suffering, but I do feel you're hoping for an apology in some sense. Do I feel you'll get it? Yes, I do. I do, but it won't be the way you think it looks. It can be through the person, showing value in you, showing that they really are grateful for who you are as a human being. There's a big wrap up going on their side of the fence, and I do feel it's relating to the karmic and the physical energy of the person whom they were with. Could there be a breakup? I'm saying there could be. It's going to get a bit messy for them moving from here into January. So don't be surprised if you get some gossip, chart. Your kids could be irritating you at the moment. Just breathe. I know we love our babies. We do. We do love our babies, but you know, we're tired. I saw this beautiful recipe the other day. This lady got a cup and she poured chocolate into the cup. She left it as a mold to dry. She then placed candy cane in the middle, bit more chocolate to stick it down, and then poured cocoa, marshmallows, and then poured hot chocolate over the top, melted chocolate, and so it looked like a little cup with a candy cane on it. And you can put it into a cup of hot milk and stir it, and it melts it all down, and you put the candy cane to the side and it's your hot chocolate. I was like, But I do feel you're going to get gossip, Char. We do love our kids, but when we feel tired, we accidentally take it out on the ones that we love the most. And so I would say bubble bath, having that self-care. If you need to cry, cry. But I'm telling you, you're going to be more popular than you think. Emma, how are we doing? How are we doing, beautiful Emma? Thank you, Giggle, for moderating. Thank you for your help in 2022. Thank you for all your help through the years, moderators, and Giggle. I wouldn't be able to do this without you, honestly. Okay. So if you guys have not seen your star signs, it's because I'm not premiering them. I have time stamped them to open, and they are all open at the same time. Okay. Closed. Only emergencies. You might be able to get one for this evening if there's open. I'll have to check. But yeah, now on, as mentioned to the members, it's emergency bookings until January. You can book your January session. And if you want discounts, we also do have the subscriptions for bookings. If you're somebody that gets bookings all the time, it's one of those ways you can get an ongoing discount that you have secured in. It never changes. So feel free to look at those. And we've also got the free subscription, which is giving you all the astrology updates free of charge. Benefit of the website. Mini updates, gives you you have to PM me for emergency bookings. Yeah, they're at emergency rates as well. Anyway, let's have a look at this. Emma. I don't feel bad to do with yours, Emma, but she could be looking at things quite realistically. Who's irritated you, Emma? There's somebody here. Are you trying to keep away from a feminine energy? Because there feels like a feminine energy that is a bit of a hovercraft. There's somebody here that it's almost, look, this could be a friend, it could be a sibling, but there's somebody who may, if they haven't already, but it does feel very relevant, there is a female energy that's a little bit irritating. Who is that energy to you, doll? Do you know who I'm talking about? I know. I give you perks, Giggle. You get your BFF. I may be having a little poll to put up for anyone that wants to become a moderator, and we could have monthly meetings. So I already do that with the moderator that has been here, the geriatric moderator. To keep to myself, I don't talk to anyone apart from my partner. Could be his mum. Yeah, because it feels something to do with a female energy. Look, this could even be you viewing a karmic situation and you're looking at the person and you're thinking, I do not trust this person. But that there is a particular female vibration that it's sort of like you just don't want dramas with. And again, remember, we're moving into Mercury retrograde. We've got Mars and a Mercury energy, Uranus, which is the higher octane of a Mercury kind of polarity, and then Mercury on the 29th. So I'm telling you, be careful what you say. Gossip will get out. People from the past coming back. It's there to be addressed. You could bump into these people. Universe is also saying to divine feminines, you are safe. You need to come out of hermit mode. I wouldn't say yet. I would say the relevance of it is being meditated upon as we do move back into the end of January 2023 of where do we reconnect in society? How do we reconnect? Do we feel that the only way we can be safe is being Rapunzel up on the tower? That means we haven't learned our lessons. We can connect with people and we can just say no. My gate is closed. I accept you for your choices. Politest way to say it. I'm saying a heartbeat, okay? Going to the markets tomorrow to do readings for the first time. Very nervous. Just be open, doll. Don't stress about it. Your guides always protect you. And if you're meant to, it's meant to happen. You don't need to hide. You can be you. If it's meant to be like that, that's meant to be. Okay. Look, there's lots of changes here. I feel there's like you've got highs and lows. You have success. You're moving into your magician energy. Could you bump into somebody from the past? You could. But it's saying if that's supposed to happen, it's divinely guided. Do you have children? Or is it on the other person's side? There's something to do with children here. You're a jag. I don't get a nervous feeling. Somebody's making a decision, but you could be really second guessing your decisions. Yeah, because there's children around you at the moment, but there's also a viewpoint of the other parties that were involved with the both of you. And you're kind of looking at it from the perspective of what they did versus what you do. And that they can be quite lazy karmics, if that makes sense. It could be selfishness, potentially, in cycles. And it doesn't even have to be the co-parenting situation. Do you understand what I'm saying? But there's some reference they're making of the selfishness relating to a karmic with children. That's what they're making reference to. I do think it's being addressed. Okay, I do think it is going to be addressed. I do feel they're meditating on how they address that. They might not open up as much to do with it, but there's going to be a judgment. I do think it's going to go in your favor. I feel that there's old situations of the past coming up, but I do feel you're protected. I don't feel you need to worry. An old cycle between now and next year is going to close out associated to that individual. But I do feel it's let that person make up their mind what they're going to do. I think they're rationally having experience with that person, that they know how to address it. And again, it did come up in the main reading of the fact that divine masculines maybe were dealing with a baby mama energy. Could even be, is that my baby? Is that my child? Is it the custodian situations and things to that degree? They're looking at those situations. Yeah. Were they ever married? Because I'm saying a marriage here. But I'm feeling tying up paperwork or situations of the past for a binding of a contract. Does that make sense? Because I do see a marriage for you. Okay? Yeah, well, big subjects at the moment that you're walking in to address. Yeah, this could be to do with children, DNA, it's all of that you're addressing, and you're looking at it. You need to, you may need to pause to reflect. I do think something in it's going to change though, love. I better jump on or I'm not going to get through. I don't feel anything negative here. I think you're protected. I do. I think you're protected, but I feel there's something in this chapter that you guys are closing out, but I do feel a separate direction. I do feel particularly you could be looking at, there could be marriage for you moving into 2023. Okay. Who do we have last but not least? But yeah, just look at it, because I do think it's going to change. I do think you may not be doing that too long because you have a different path that's coming. Kerry, thank you, Giggle. And then I better hit the road. Hi, Kerry, congratulations. Did you say I think Giggle, if there is a chocolate martini, I'm going to check it out, okay? I do not promote alcohol. But, unwind in moderation. Although through my ascension, there was nothing. It was green, organic, vegan, too much ascension. I am moving back to that again. But I did make myself a coffee martini. I do not wait for a man to do it for me. I do it myself. And I'm in my twin flame path. I'm in my union. He thinks I'm stubborn because I have the balance of my masculine and feminine in me. I am waiting for a man to do shit for me. You're relieved. You're like, do you feel better? You saw my martini, yeah. So it's actually a coffee martini. I did share it to the members. We do chat in the members. If you want added support and you can't get a booking, you can join the members because we do chat in Discord. We do have the masculine by element coming out shortly. And then come January, the first week of January, they get the divine feminine via element of what's coming up. And then we check in mid-month and we get that support. But there's also the chat room where all the twins can chat. And don't just have to be a twin. It's anyone. It's from an energy point of view where you've got the support and you can chat with each other. And if I feel any energy, I'll pop it in Discord. Only because it pings in my phone all the time. So it's not personal. Okay, what do we have here? Now you've got to find a house. That's what they're making reference to. You're like step 2 in the next 2 weeks. When you're a dagger, must say. Look, I think sometimes we tend to have perspectives of, we get tunnel vision. We're like, in my physical life right now, I can't see it, but channel messages land when they land. And it's like, okay, what I'm physically seeing. And then you're like, oh. Okay, so Kerry. It's almost like you're like, okay, what do I need to address now? And then you're sitting back. And I think you will address it when you're ready, but you may start mulling over it in the next few weeks. It's like, okay, it's like your head is going to keep working. You're like, I just got over that. And it's the high five. It's the high vibe. Like I said, it's very positive. But there are some other things that you want to address as well. I don't know why I do get. You're like, look, I'm just going to entertain myself while that person is just doing whatever they're doing. I do feel there's a bit of a panic. Look, I do feel the individual you are tuning into may be moving house as well. But it's okay. You don't need to worry. It's not bad. Does that make sense? There's a shift. I do feel they're picking up on you psychically because you're challenging your fears as well. And wounds are going, no, I can have a career. I can make choices. I can go and do those things. I'm not leaving a soldier behind. If the soldier is feeling that, it's because they are leaving themselves behind. And it's where we have actually done the same. Could you have had lots of triggers and heartbreaks? Purgatory experiences. I do feel so, but it's lightening. You're trying to let them go. You're like, I do need to move forward. I'm going to trust the process. I do feel now it's excitement, but I also feel, oh God, Kerry, I think you are going to have a lot of opportunities. You are going to have a lot of opportunities. I also feel a wardrobe change. If you're going to do anything major, think about it at the moment, but I would do major changes, I would say, by the end of February. By the end of January, moving into February. And probably not even in the first 2 weeks. I'm seeing new hair. I'm seeing makeup. I'm seeing makeup, hair. I'm seeing outfits. And I'm also seeing there is a person that is, you're going to meet some very attractive individuals. I just need to say it. So do I see this other person moving? Yes, they are going to be triggered. But you're going to have opportunities. And it's also going to give you confidence and courage to show your light. And I think it's very positive. Mother is very excited. Mother's very excited. She's like, you got a relationship coming. So anyway, we don't need to worry about Carrie. Let's move forward. Some people have got their shit together. It's okay. We always have that moment and we're like, I've got my shit together. And then the carpet comes out and it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, we all have the ups and downs, and the ones that have the ups at the moment, hands up to them, you know, because life is challenging. We all have these hard days and the good days. And when we have the good days, celebrate them. Celebrate them, be in appreciation of them. Pat yourself on the back, because everything that we do directly go through in our own lives and twin flame path, it's a huge achievement. Nothing's for nothing. We literally think, oh, you know, it's all for nothing. Nothing's for nothing. You can actually take your skills and reapply them elsewhere. So if it's a job, if it's a situation with your family you're dealing with at this point in time, for all of us, I think what this ruin cast is asking us to do is look outside the box, but deal with it differently. And also know that you are in a place of great power, because a lot of times people maybe that are more open or gone through a lot of adversity earlier on in life, you have more emotional intelligence. The further into your ascension you get, you tend to be less egoic. So you have empathy. It doesn't mean you're a doormat. Okay? Choose your path. Choose what you need to do. Use your power correctly. And I will see you next week on the premiere for the Twin Flame Update. It'll have less of the skip gap and it'll just be channeled messages. And we also will have your star signs out soon, towards about the 1st of January, but I might open them a little bit earlier. But if you do want them now, they're already open in the Members Hub. Emergency bookings on the website. I love yous lots. And I'll see you in 2023. Be safe. Don't get scared of Mercury retrograde, okay? It's not that bad. It's an opportunity to reconnect.